Welcome everybody to the Bunch of Goofs podcast. Here's our host, Agent Fasha Gamer, and his co-hosts, Odacia and Hey I'm Chef. And together they are the Bunch of Goofs.
Well, hey there, everybody. I just wanted to remind y'all that Bunch of Goofs is recorded in front of a live audience during a live cast on Twitch.
You've got music.
Alright, that's sad.
What?
I have contributed 28,000 points to the fucking dance, and I still have 50 grand.
Jesus.
How do you have so much?
He's here all the time, and I appreciate the fuck out of him for that.
I guess I just keep spending mine?
You do
keep
though,
spending
because you
yours
keep
on
spending
hydrates.
yours on fucking hydrates.
So does he.
Yeah, but I have 50,000 points.
Yeah, so I think you had... Actually, I usually don't spend it on the hydrates. I usually do the weird voices. I used to do the weird voice and share recipe combo. Because I like hearing you telling me how to make potato this or pasta that. Sounded like Skeletor.
Until we meet again!
Alrighty then, let's do our intro and get on into it. Hey everybody, welcome to a Bunch of Goofs livecast podcast on Twitch with me, Oda, and Chef. I really appreciate y'all for being here and hanging out. Thank you so much. And of course, if you do have a question, there's always the option of using channel points to get our attention. And of course, just asking a question in chat on Twitch if you want to know anything. But we're just here shooting the shit, talking about whatever. We're going to start with Chef's little birthday celebration he had this weekend. That's right, I'm putting you on the spot.
Fuck your couch. Just because I'm starting to get my voice back.
Exactly.
So yeah, my birthday was last Tuesday. I was supposed to have a get-together on Saturday with all my Mando friends and shit like that, and they kidnapped me. They decided that me spending money and making everybody tacos on my birthday wasn't a good use of my birthday.
Just saying,
So-
don't mean to interrupt, but I agree.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I like cooking though,
I know, but it's your birthday!
and I like to cook.
Fuck, you are like me. You drive everybody nuts.
Yeah, but then instead they kidnapped me and we went to a Mexican restaurant, so I still got my tacos.
Nice.
And then afterwards, a small group of us went to a place here called Zero Latency, which is one of those places that have all the big empty rooms that are set up for VR stuff. And we were fighting zombies for 30 minutes.
Badass.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've got pictures in the highlights and shit like that
You gotta at least post
on
that in Discord.
my phone. I probably will.
Oh god.
The only reason someone cooked for me for my birthday was because we were at my brother's house.
I'm sorry I want you to live, honey. I'm sorry I want you to live.
Listen, I understand Oda's position, because there are just some people who should never touch a frying pan. I'm sorry.
I can pasta pot. I'm good. Frying pan. One or two things. I'm actually good at grilling burgers and hot dogs.
Mhm. At least you got the grill down. That's actually more complicated than people think, so that's a good thing to have. Everybody thinks, oh,
Yeah.
let's just slap it on the grill, it's fine. No.
High heat.
You know what? Actually, the grill works best if you put it on low heat, close the lid, and come back in a couple hours.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're going for. Because if you do that with like a filet mignon steak or something like that, you're gonna get a kind of a tough.
I'm talking about a big hunk of meat and you have one of those spinny things.
That would be a
Rotisserie.
rotisserie, sir.
Yes.
That's why that works. It's a rotisserie. If you're grilling, it's high heat, short amount of time.
Actually, no. I've actually seen people use grills as low and slow.
I mean, you can do
Again,
that.
it kind of depends upon what it depends upon what you're cooking.
And if you do
but
it low
the-
and slow,
the original
generally you're
functionality of-
smoking it.
I don't know what the frick Alton Brown was doing to it. He was just doing something that big.
Well, first off, it's Alton Brown. He does some fucked up shit anyway.
You gotta love him. He knows all the science.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love Alton Brown, especially when he's hosting Chopped.
Oh man, I love that show.
Or not Chopped. Cutthroat Kitchen. Excuse me.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, that's the one where they give him just random ass little challenges with a twist.
Yes, and they have a stack of money, and whatever they spend sabotaging the other cooks, if they win, they only get to keep what they didn't spend.
Yeah, and let's see, Jaconda Bear says, I like cooking for people in general. And, like, honestly, you're talking to two people who love cooking, so yeah, we get you. I might have fallen out of...
called out in the comments.
Yep. Like, I might have fallen out of love with the food industry, but that doesn't mean I fell out of love with food. I still love cooking, I still love food. I just fucking hate the food industry at this point.
Unless I'm in charge.
Yeah, if I was in charge, if it was my restaurant, my food truck, if it was my food truck, I would be all for it, but that's expensive.
Yeah.
I was literally just thinking, I kind of wish all three of us were lived close, because you two and my wife could go start your own business, and I'll just basically add internet to the cafe part.
You know how important that is, though? IT is extremely important for a business. So you would be like the meat and potatoes.
Oh, the thing is, I'm talking not just internet, but I'm talking like, here, we're going to have a finger food section, and you're going to have controllers with covers on them so you don't get stuff on the important bits, so you can actually play games while you're eating hot wings.
Let's see. Guga is fun for fuckery with meats. The food industry sucks balls, and as a woman who was in it, always has. Yeah, it does suck balls. It's creators in the food industry, same. Yeah, the food industry is what almost killed my love for food. And it's not because of the food industry. It's the need to acquiesce to the customers that causes it to become such a problem. Because
I told you what the final straw was for me as a cook, right? As a chef, right?
You have, but I would love for you to share that story.
Well, I mean, it's fairly simple. We had a special, and the side was tomato salad. A salad made out of tomatoes. This fucking Karen orders the special and wants the tomato salad. She then sends it back because it's too tomatoey and wants us to take the tomatoes out. The next day, I was looking for a different job outside the food industry.
Okay. Would you like to know what my picky eating self would have said? Can I get the deal and you just keep your salad? So we don't waste the food?
I mean, you could have swapped it out for a house salad. Or a side Caesar salad.
What are you complaining about?
Because she's fucking stupid.
She was a Karen.
Oh my god. That's like I have always been like very upfront. Like I ask, hey, what's on this? Can you not have the onions?
And that's honestly, that's like never a problem. The problem is when you go in there asking for ridiculous ass shit and are unreasonable.
Yeah, like so I would love like if we have a one place they do low and slow grilling they make like pulled pork and stuff like that, you know, the really nice stuff you do on the giant grills. And they have a little place you buy it, and I'm just sitting there and I looked at them like as a joke. I went, so how many times do people ask for the vegetarian option? They looked at me and said, 3 to 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And the only place this place sells is pork.
Yeah, I mean, I also fell out of love with the food industry because of the back of the house. Fucking drug and alcoholism run rampant through kitchens. You get people who get way too touchy about shit. Like I had one dude pull a knife to my throat because I made a your mom joke.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
What?
Yeah.
He backed off really quickly because I wasn't fucking reacting at all. He's like, "Man, I'll fucking kill you." I'm like, "If you do that, you're not gonna be able to give your super special mommy any grandkids." He's like, "What the fuck do you mean?" I had my crom bit to his nuts, and he didn't even realize it.
But that's how the kitchen is.
That's
how the kitchen is.
No, I would not have survived because the moment chefs started yelling at me, not you, chef, but you have all those people where the head chef's just yelling at everyone. I would go like, "Motherfucker, I'm right here. Shut the fuck up."
Well, that's the problem.
I got fired.
You're supposed to yell so that way you're heard.
Mm-hmm. Like in the
There's
kitchen,
yelling, and then there's the rude shit I've seen on TV and I've seen on things.
Again, that's TV and things.
Yeah, don't.
I've heard that sometimes people are actually like that. Like I've heard some horror stories about chefs who are just, freaking Nazi psychos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, they exist.
I mean, some people get the power and it goes right to their head.
And I mean, as it stands, the kitchen industry is just so volatile. Like I remember one time in the kitchen, two people, and it can change at the drop of a hat. But these two guys, they've been working together for almost 5 years, and they're the best of friends. You know, they shoot the shit, and they say some fucking raunchy ass shit to each other. But one day it was just too much, because they were butchering a side of cow, and one of them had a scimitar in their hand taking all of these giant chunks off, and the other one, who was working on the top half taking off the loins, started, set up a Yamama joke, and it took 2 seconds. We saw the knife move, and it was inside of his stomach.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
We have Okana said, "When I was told not to work for XYZ chefs and no one would tell me why, I was done."
Yep. And yeah, no, and it is true. It is because everybody is freaking high all the time, or just high on themselves. It's how the kitchen environment kind of is right now.
Or drunk.
She was actually talking about the fact there were actually chefs who were touchy-feely with the female members of the staff.
That runs rampant through kitchen staff as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a common thing. Like the kitchen industry is cutthroat in so many ways. Like the final straw,
especially the older generation. That's when that's more of a problem. Mm-hmm. Not so much anymore.
That's true. A lot of the younger a lot of the modern day chefs are more compassionate and kind of understand, and they're trying to change the industry culture, which is good. Because honestly, like that cutthroat nature is there, not just in the kitchen, but it's also in the management. Hell, for me, my final straw was when I literally got screwed over. I got hired onto this kitchen working at this retirement home. This was the last job I had working in the food industry. And this is actually the last job I had before I started becoming a full-time content creator. And it was bullshit. I did everything. I rebuilt their entire systems, all of their ordering. I reconnected them with new shipment operators and everything. Even ordered new uniforms and restructured and recreated menus from scratch, as well as recipes. And after I was done with all that, they said, "Thanks, we're going to take over, you're fired." And that's exactly how that went down.
God.
The day that I finished the last recipe for the year period, which was going to be a cycling period, the next day I got called into the office and I was given my last paycheck.
That is just shit.
And that was the last straw.
Say, you guys would probably do really well working in a diner.
I did that.
Okay, because usually most of the diners I'm at only have 1, maybe 2 cooks.
It depends upon how big they get.
Oh, I'm talking about like 3 waitresses and 10 tables diner.
Like a family diner.
I would go insane. There's not enough work to be done. I would go fucking insane.
Okay, the local place by me, they're hopping and popping all the time. And it's a really small place, but I'm pretty sure chefs just cranking food out. And by the time people are done eating it, they get up and and it's immediately filled the table.
That is the one thing I do miss about diners, because my specialty is seafood and diner food.
I like half your specialty.
I worked so the restaurant that I became a chef in was like basically a small diner connected to a truck stop, and then the owners sold it after 4 years or so to a doctor who wanted to become a restaurateur and owned all the property that a super high-end fucking housing addition was built on. So he built a building for the restaurant that had apartments upstairs, and the bar was downstairs, and the kitchen and the main floor was, and the main dining room was on the first floor. So it went, and he changed the menu from like diner food to fine dining. It still kept the same name, which was fucking stupid.
Why?
And like it
Please tell me, did he leave diner in the name?
No. Well, it didn't have diner in the name. It was called Carolina Grill. And
How much was grilled?
Actually quite a bit. But
was a total idiot then.
Well, then when the new owner bought it, it was still Carolina Grill, but he took away all the stuff that everybody loved from the place and put like expensive ass steaks and pork chops and chicken and shit like that on it.
Oh God, why?
Yeah.
You build your menu around your demographic, not around the demographic you want.
You mean like the place that I'm surprised is still open down the road from me?
Why?
Well, it's a bar trying to be a fine restaurant.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's always fun.
They charge like a fine restaurant, and they screwed up pasta.
How do you screw up pasta?
Right, so that's not exactly hard to do.
Oh no, like they screwed up the pasta, they screwed up the sauce, and they screwed up the chicken. Because they didn't drain the water out of the pasta properly.
Jeez.
Like, Alan, I know you have this issue because I have this issue. Do you ever go to a restaurant and if it's taking too fucking long, you have to resist the urge to go in the back and show them how to do it?
Oh yeah. Oh. There are some times where my friends kind of hate taking me to restaurants because
Same.
I will point out the issues. I'd be like, really?
So will I.
Come on. Because I know they can do better. It's not that hard.
I don't go out to eat that much anymore because I'm sitting there and it's like, I can make better food at home.
And I do.
And, that's actually...
Sorry, Oda was saying something.
Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, that's part of the reason why I love going out to eat for tacos. You have to be talented to screw up a taco.
You haven't met my brother.
You haven't been to California.
I'm afraid to go to California.
No, you couldn't get me to California because my luck is that's when it falls off. As soon as I step foot in that state, I'm going to Hawaii.
I refuse to go to California for a completely different reason. Same reason why I refuse to go to New York and why I reluctantly go to fucking Illinois.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, actually, me and Laura actually went to a place. I swear they were using canned beef puree
Yeah,
in the
sounds good.
tacos.
They were trying to be Taco Bell.
Ew.
No. Do not insult Taco Bell like that.
No canned beef. Just no.
They actually managed to make it so that Taco Bell was a higher quality taco.
That's talent. And that's not a good talent. That is not a good talent.
How?
Because it literally was bad tasting beef paste.
I mean, I generally agree with Alan with no canned beef. There are a few exceptions. Corned beef hash out of a can.
Okay.
Beef stew, like Dinty Moore beef stew.
All right. You know what? I can't argue with that because I love Dinty Moore beef stew.
And Chef Boyardee.
Sir, let me put it to you this way. The quality of beef that they had in that, I think the chicken in Campbell's Chicken Noodle and Soup was higher quality than this beef.
Oh my god. Also, now in regard,
they went to the
yeah. Now, in regards to some of the stuff that was said in chat, let's see. In regards to what Akana said earlier about that particular Italian chef, yes, I've met Mario Batali. He's a piece of shit.
He is.
He's a gigantic, egotistical piece of shit.
And I don't care what you say, his food's really not that good.
No, it's not. Have you tried the I actually got one of his cookbooks because my mom was obsessed with Italian cooking. And she's like, oh, Mario Batali. It's like, first off, no. Emeril Lagasse's better than fucking Mario Batali.
I ate at one of his restaurants while he was cooking. I ate at one of his restaurants while he was cooking.
Let me guess, the pasta was kind of gummy.
No shit.
He fucked up pasta?
I don't know what it is, but like it's in his restaurants. Like he does this. It's a standard or something, but the pasta always comes out gummy. And it's not pleasant.
Yeah. It's overcooked is what it is.
It's like
it's overcooked and then it's cooled and portioned into bags.
He's stuck cooking in the 80s. That's what he is. He's stuck in the 80s.
You know what? Like, I'm gonna change gears because I want to stop not trying to puke after that thought. I don't know about where you guys are, but growing up in New Jersey, there are stupid number of diners in New Jersey, and literally, I've been to literally any diner I went to in New Jersey, you can always get certain foods and they'd be good. Do you guys have that? Like, I know around here there's some diners. It's like, that's what I love about diners, is that as long as it's like, especially if it's a mom and pop, been there for a while diner, you can walk up to somebody eating and go, hey, what's good here? I haven't been here before. And you will get hit with 5 or 6 options by everybody in the room.
The standard diner food that everybody gets is a single or a double cheeseburger with, whatever toppings you want. Most of the time they come standard with lettuce, tomato, and onion, and ketchup and mustard, and then fucking French fries.
And a pickle spear.
It is so very hard to fuck that up. Yeah, and a pickle spear. Well, that's if they don't put the pickle slices on the burger.
True.
Actually, my 2 favorite were, one, when they actually make the breaded chicken fingers.
Yeah.
Or literally steak and potatoes with a vegetable.
Yeah, but I mean, again, the steak and potatoes, yes. Handmade chicken tenders, those kind of went out of style when processed food came about.
Yeah.
Then I was a very lucky
when
human
Cisco
growing up.
became global.
You really were, actually. Yeah, Cisco and Gordon's Food Service.
Oh God.
GFS. Dude, I love Gordon's.
I always had
But,
problems working with them, and that was only because it wasn't the food, it was the ordering system.
Their ordering system does suck, but living in Indianapolis, there's a couple of Gordon's food service stores, like like a fucking Kroger on the corner.
Ooh,
You can walk in and buy restaurant supply, anything, as general public. It's fucking amazing.
that's actually
But
pretty nice.
but the standard go-to diner food that is on every menu, every single diner you go to, is a double or a single cheeseburger with lettuce, tomato, onion, and French fries. And it is very, very hard to fuck it up.
Mm. I mean, I don't know. For
I've
me,
actually had one.
Oh.
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, go. Okay, no. I only ever had one time, and I felt horrible. Like, I felt bad. That's why I don't understand these Karen people in restaurants. I felt bad sending the burger back, but it was pink in the middle.
Which is how a burger should be, sir.
No, that I meant without cutting into it.
Oh. Somebody wasn't timing right.
Yeah, and like you can just look at this and go. So I went to bite into it, and I'm like, look it up, and it's like because it was cold.
Yeah.
Ew.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
somebody-
oh my God.
Somebody
And it was
didn't time it right.
Oh, that
And
that just made my stomach turn a little.
yeah, the thing is, this lady came up. I thought it was the waitress, and I pointed, she's like, "Hello, is there a problem?" It turns out it was not my waitress. It was the hostess who saw the look on my face. With the door closed, halfway across the building, you heard this woman screaming.
I mean, to be fair,
that is a
warm
good point.
beef that is not all the way cooked is not a pleasant experience.
No, but true. At the same time, though, yelling at your chef or your line cook is a great way to fuck up everybody's orders for the rest of the night.
I don't think the guy stayed there.
Yeah,
I think it was like she didn't come back out of the kitchen. I think she took over his job and kicked him out. So I think it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
probably. I mean, you were probably not the first burger that he's done that to. It is very hard to fuck up a burger that bad.
I've had restaurants that fucked up burgers, and I've had restaurants fuck up burgers too, but that also says a lot about the restaurant, doesn't it? Because if they can fuck up
But-
something as quintessential as burger and fries.
Right, but we're not talking about just restaurants.
Right, we're talking
We're
about diners.
Diners are where burgers fucking shine.
Yes.
Because those will be the best burgers you will ever get.
Right?
Yeah, I
And-
love the You want to say something, Alan?
Yes. What's up, Picos Lee TV and Luminous? How are you, my friend? Appreciate y'all being here. But yeah, I actually wanted to answer the question that was actually asked to everyone, which was about, favorite
Which one?
diner food.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Didn't really
'cause
get a
I
chance
was
to
going
answer
through
that.
my diner food. Yeah, well, we did mine, and then we went on a fucking rant about burgers and diners. Okay, so what's yours,
Yeah.
Alan?
So, honestly, when it comes down to it, because of California and how, I don't know, how common it is, the two things would be biscuits and gravy and
Ooh,
your standard 2-2-2 plate.
2 eggs, 2 sausage or bacon, and 2 pancakes.
Yep. Those are
With
my
a side of hash browns.
those are always my go-to when it comes to diners.
So you go to diners for breakfast.
Yep.
See, I'm not a huge fan of breakfast food. I prefer lunch and dinner, so I go to diners and get, fucking burgers and shit.
I get that. Like, I also do like to go to diners for burgers. It's just when I think of diners, I think breakfast food.
You know what? That's one thing I love about, especially like, I don't know if Denny's still does this. They might, but a lot of the diners I grew up with, the whole good thing about the diner was, it's 3 a.m. and I'm hungry.
Yeah, see, that kind of phased out with actual diners because people were having so many issues. Now it's usually just like Denny's and Waffle House and shit like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if several of the ones in New Jersey are still going, but that's only if they kept the relationship they had with the local police department.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If you want a late night diner, you gotta get in with the cops and the firefighters and the EMTs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but like, keep in mind, this is before credit card machines. There was a styrofoam cup next to the coffee.
Yep.
And pay, and there was a chair. It was the stool closest to the door had the logo for the local police department.
Yeah.
It was a reserved seat, and they would literally come in, drop exact change or some extra with a tip, fill up their thermos with a cup of coffee. They'd go, "Hey, you got half a pot left," and run.
Yeah.
See, I wish I would have grown up in that era. Like I grew up in the '90s. That era of stuff was gone.
No, this was in the 90s. It was just New Jersey has a very dense population of diners, and a lot of them have been there for a long time. So the diners all there were really smart, all the late night ones. Because what are the two things a cop is looking for at 3 o'clock in the morning on a December night?
Coffee and donuts.
Yeah. Or
Coffee and a warm place to warm his ass up for 5 minutes.
sounds about right.
Did they not have heat in the cop cars in New Jersey?
Okay, but
I
ambient
don't
heating
know.
versus heater in a car, they're very different. You know this.
Yeah, like just the fact that you know you have a seat close enough for you to run out the door where you can just sit and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah. And
And-
let's see. Chicana Bear states, one of my favorite diner foods is chilaquiles. Wait, what diner have you been at that serves chilaquiles?
I know, right? I mean, stereotypical diners started out roughly the same, well, the exact way that Steak and Shake started out.
I mean, that sounds delicious, but I've never seen none of the diners I've ever been at serve chilaquiles. Los Angeles
LA diners, that's right.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about you guys, but there was one diner in New Jersey where I always ordered a small meal because they had such good cheesecake.
You went there for the dessert.
I've never been to a diner that had like the specialty dessert.
It was just a plain slice of cheesecake with a scoop of ice cream.
Yeah, that's a signature dessert for that diner.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I've never been to a diner that's had that. Like, you know, there's always depicted in movies, you know, the whole like, oh, you can come into this diner and get your food and then you can get pie with it. You know, like fucking Supernatural. Dean always finds a diner with fucking pie. I've never been to a diner like that.
Okay. I know of one place, at least there's a few places that I went to back in California that had that, but there was this one place known as, have you ever heard of Rubio's? Because they are a chain.
I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about it.
So, Rubio's Diner was one of the ones I used to go to a lot, and they're a franchise, so they had some control over their menu, and one of the things that they had there was this lemon cake that the owner of the franchise actually made for the restaurant every day, and it was the best lemon cake I've ever fucking had. The only one that I've ever had that was almost just as good, or probably just as good, would be the lemon cake that my roommate made for her Mayan's birthday.
Or Mayans.
Hey, Chef,
Yes.
I am sorry, but you do realize you actually have I don't know what diners you have been going to, But in Ohio and New Jersey, I have not been to a diner that did not have pie.
Well, you gotta remember too, like I specialize in diner food, but uh I never I've only lived like rural Indiana one time in my life for like 1 year.
Uh, dude, there's nothing really rural about New Jersey.
Again, I grew up in Indianapolis. There's like Steak and Shakes, McDonald's, and Burger King's.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to say is that those two experiences do not equate because he doesn't live in New Jersey.
I think it might just be the fact that, honestly, his city's newer than what I'm used to.
But yeah, I mean, granted, there are diners in Indianapolis, but half the time you don't go to that side of town.
Yeah. Let's see. Chicano Rivera. Favorite dessert I got from a diner was Dutch apple pie with ice cream. Ooh.
Because Dutch apple pie with ice cream is fucking amazing anytime.
Yeah, you know what? In all honesty, you can go to a supermarket, follow the directions on the box, add a scoop of ice cream, and you've done good.
Well, let me put it this way. Like, I don't do cake for my birthday. I don't like cake. It's too dry. I don't care who makes it. I find cake dry. My family knows to give me one of two things. Either a fucking cheesecake or an apple pie. And my mom has recently taken to baking, so she's been baking me apple pies.
Nice.
See, I'm kind of like you, but instead of apple pie, I'm a pecan pie lover.
I hate pecans.
Okay, nobody's perfect.
I totally get it. No, I get it. Like, I honestly, whenever I talk about my favorite kind of pie and I tell people that my favorite pie is pecan pie, it's literally in half. There's never somebody who says, I kind of like it. It's either I like pecan pie or fucking hate it.
Well,
I will say, a lot of places when they make pecan pie, I want to look at them and go, why did you put this much sugar in this?
Or where are the pecans?
See, that's my problem. Is it's not the pie that I don't like. I don't like pecans at all.
I get it. Like I said, that's usually the problem that most people have, other than the fact that a lot of people make the same complaint that Oda does. Too much sugar, too much custard. Where's the fucking pecans? Because I make the same complaints. But a lot of people who don't like pecan pie don't like pecans in general. Or hazelnuts either.
You know what sucks? Sorry, go ahead, Oda. I've got another pie.
This is real quick. Have either of you ever had sweet potato pie?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love sweet potato pie.
I love sweet potato pie. I love sweet potato pie. I just started liking sweet potatoes like 4 years ago. So.
I hate people that put sugar in sweet potato pie. You're not supposed.
Why the frack would you? It's called sweet potatoes for a reason.
The sweet potatoes should be sweet enough. If they're not sweet enough, you're not using the right fucking potato.
Now, I will say.
Sweet potato, not a yam.
I will say, the way my brother-in-law's family makes sweet potato pie is pretty good. It's a sweet potato pie, but then they put marshmallows on top and melt the marshmallows.
So it's a Thanksgiving kind of esque pie?
Yeah, that's when we usually get it, is Thanksgiving.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You're essentially making the quintessential Thanksgiving yam dish, but in pie form. With sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie. Who cares? It's good.
The pinkin pie?
No. Yeah. Oh. You want to know the one thing I am good at doing? Following directions when you give me a baking recipe.
See, I can't
make a very good pumpkin cheesecake.
Oh, I love pumpkin cheesecake.
See,
I can't bake worth a shit.
See, I can do desserts. I can't do bread. I'm trying to do bread, but my roommate does bread fucking amazing. Me, I suck. I don't know what it is. I try so hard to make good bread, and it usually doesn't come out that good.
I need to have you sit down with my wife, who could probably show you exactly how to make good bread.
I would love to learn.
I know somebody who could probably make some pretty damn good bread too.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. You're gonna be mashing and mashing all fucking day, making that dough, huh? You're
So you know what my problem with baking is?
What's
Whether
that?
it be bread, pizza, desserts, anything.
You don't
I
like to
am too
measure.
impatient. I don't like to measure, and I'm too impatient. Dude, I'm a chef.
You're the difference between a chef and a baker.
So,
Master
you wanna know
bakers.
something funny?
Yeah.
Laura actually says this about me too, and mainly it's just because I really need to start baking more. Because I work for literally measurement is my job title.
Yeah.
I am a scientist of measurement technician. Metrology is the science of measurement. I am stupidly good at measuring ingredients. Like, I actually get a butter knife and level it out so that the top is perfectly smooth. So I have exactly 1 cup.
Right. You have the mind
My,
for baking.
I don't.
You have the mind for cooking.
Yes, I know roughly how much each measurement is in my hand, and I know the recipe, and I cook. And if it tastes a little bit off, I know how to adjust.
Baking is not that easy. It's a lot.
Baking is chemistry.
I don't have the temperament or the patience.
Yeah. I like to bake. It's just I don't have the patience to bake.
That's the hardest part is that patience bit.
Though I have made emergency sugar cookies for my wife, and it was a little late to work because she's like, I need to have sugar cookies for when I get home from work, and I forgot to cook them. So I told my boss I was gonna be a little late, and they didn't give a shit, thankfully. So I was an hour late to work because I sat there and made sugar cookies.
Right on.
So, back to the pie debate. You know what really sucks? I live in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
What is the #1 pie that people associate with Florida?
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
No, that is Georgia.
Oh.
That is Georgia.
I thought that was peach pie.
Think further south. Most southern part of the United States.
Key lime?
Key lime.
Oh.
I can't stand most key lime pies, especially if they're processed.
Is it the texture?
No, it's the taste of the meringue.
Huh.
If you make it fresh, I like it. If it is sat for a day, or if it's like bought at a deli type of thing or a bakery, I can't fucking stand it. As soon as you take away the authenticity of key lime pie, and the acidity of the meringue gets too much from sitting, I don't do it. I can't stand it.
So for you, it has to be pretty much fresh made key lime pie. With
fresh
ingredients, not the extract shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Like I've had Key West key lime pie one time. Now it was 2 days old, but it was still the best key lime pie that I've ever had because it's made with key limes.
Actual key limes, not key lime extract.
I actually like lemon meringue pie. Not me.
I don't like lemon desserts for some reason.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like lemon cookies. I don't like lemon bars, lemon bread, lemon
Do you
meringue
not like
pie.
sour?
I love sour. I just don't like lemon as a dessert. I don't know.
I'm confused.
One of my odd things.
I'm so confused.
Trust me. Well, it's just like the fact that I will eat cherry filling, cherry drinks, all this other stuff. I can't stand an actual cherry.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, okay. I like spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce, ketchup. I literally get sick if I eat a tomato.
Is it okay? So for you, is it the texture? Okay,
Mhm.
it's the
Oh my
texture.
god, it makes me physically cringe thinking about it.
Which
You
is
are
funny because
confusing. I need to figure out with the lime shit, or with the lemon shit.
one of my favorite snacks is to take a tomato and cut it up and add salt and pepper and just eat it.
What the fuck? You
To each
monster.
their own.
All right. Although I think this
Actually,
is a
you
good.
know what? Lemon.
Sorry. What are you gonna
I
say?
was just gonna say, my favorite place to put lemon and lime is chicken.
Ah.
Yes.
Yes. Agreed. All right. Although I do apologize. I need to take a small break because I really need a pee. So we're
He
gonna.
doesn't like us anymore.
I just need a pee, dude. All right. So we're gonna do a be right back.
Likely excuse.
I will be right back. Need to go to the bathroom. Thank you so much for hanging out, being part of the Goofs. But we're doing this, and then we'll be back in a moment. Well, hey everybody. Did you know that Agent Fasha Gamer has a Patreon?
That's right, and Random Skull is here to help tell you about it.
And that's right. We're doing this announcement together.
And when you subscribe to Patreon, you get to see content early, and of course, make requests for content on YouTube, and even on Twitch and TikTok. It's all up to you!
And of course, if you want to support Agent Fasha Gamer, check out these links. And of course, there are also links in the link tree.
And remember, when you subscribe to Patreon, you can also leave a message saying that Random Skull is better than Mr. Announcer.
Now, was that even really necessary?
Greetings, everybody. My name is Audacia. My better half and I have a FlossTube channel, which is a podcast about needlepoint crafting, over on YouTube called The Slovak Farm. I also stream live on Twitch Saturdays and Sundays, and during the afternoon playing various games that fit my fancy.
All right, everybody, we are alive again. Sorry about that. I had to pee really badly. And I appreciate all of y'all for contributing to the making me dance fucking fun here on the TikTok or here on Twitch to make me do the bling bing born dance. But before we get back into the conversation of pies, I did want to show off something that I'm pretty excited about to everybody. Finally, I actually officialized and purchased the domain for my merch store, which is the AFG brand store. And I got one of my first pieces of merch. I got my water bottle, which is the Disrespect Your Trolls sticker on it, or emote, and channel logo. And now when you actually ask me to hydrate, I'll have water.
That's how it's supposed to be.
I might just fill it with soda to spite you.
I thought of a question during the break.
Oh?
What food have you gotten homemade that ruined store-bought forever?
Everything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like a good homemade meal of anything pales in comparison to what you can get at a store.
I'll tell you the weird thing I'm thinking of. Pickles.
That's not weird considering what you were just eating.
Yeah, my mother-in-law made pickles, and she found out that I like pickles. So while we were leaving yesterday, she threw 2 more mason jars into our bag as we were leaving. She's now my pickle dealer.
She's your pickle person.
I can't eat salmon anymore
Why?
because I lived in Alaska.
And you know what real salmon is supposed to taste like?
The salmon that I caught and we were eating 2 hours later, yeah,
It's very different, isn't it?
extremely different. Here, like up there, I didn't have to use like hardly any butter while cooking it in any of my recipes. Down here, I have to basically baste it in butter just to get anywhere close to the same fucking taste.
No, she doesn't, dear.
I'm pretty I'm sure that's not true.
No, but I have been adopted.
That's a good thing. That means, one, your in-laws are awesome, and two, you're awesome. I mean, we already knew that part.
It's just really funny because my father-in-law, up until me, let's just say he's a very good judge of character, and if he doesn't like you, he does not hide that fact.
So, Scotty may be craving fried pickles because of me. Because
you are not annoying, dear.
I was eating that thing of fried pickles earlier, and might have like told everyone about it.
And now must fried pickles. I will say I am not on that train.
I've never had fried pickles, and I don't have much of a desire to.
But fried pickles are great.
Sure, I just don't like pickles.
Fried foods. I avoid fried foods due to heart problems that run in my family.
I get it. And I don't like pickles because they squeak on my teeth.
You need to make them homemade then, because they don't squeak on your teeth.
No, they do.
Or eat Vlasic. They don't squeak, they crunch.
They still squeak.
Nope, they crunch.
They squeak.
They crunch.
They squeak. They might have a crunch, but the initial bite has a squeak on my teeth. And it fucking bothers me.
You're weird.
What?
I am aware of my teeth.
You are killing my wife right now. She's snorting, laughing.
What, because of the squeaking or because him and I going back and forth?
She's typing.
Like, there's also the reason why I don't like zucchini or most squash.
I don't like most squash because of the texture.
I don't know. I'm that crazy dude that wants to take a spaghetti squash and use a fork and fucking run it all the way through and shit like that, and just pull all the squash insides out so it looks like spaghetti noodles, so I can make spaghetti with spaghetti squash.
Sorry, specifically zucchini squash. Anything that's in the zucchini family. I actually like, normal spaghetti squash or anything like that. It's the outside skin, though, that I don't, because it squeaks on my teeth.
I'll squeak on your teeth.
No. Just no. 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 Hell no.
And that's why he wants the lotion.
Listen, I know it's weird. It's just something that gets me. Like, I like pickled, the flavoring. I like pickled garlic. I like pickled daikon. Everything else but not pickles. Or cucumbers. Or zucchini.
Oh, fuck you. Cucumbers are my favorite.
They squeak on my teeth.
You know what?
I will. Whoa. The fuck was that?
What?
Alan, your mic is doing fucking weird ass things.
Wait, what happened?
Turn off and turn back on again.
Possess your microphone.
Is that better?
Nope. Turn off, turn back on again.
1 second.
I'm glad O'Connor said that's not showing up in the stream.
Okay, is that better?
Alan, you're gonna have to completely turn your mic off and turn it back on.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Like, you straight went like signs. Yeah.
That's fine.
And like whenever we were talking, it was coming through staticky through your microphone, not your headphones.
Creepy.
Very.
Mm-hmm. Shows that thing you just did with your tongue. Your wife must love it, though.
No comment. It puts the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again. Alright, Buffalo Bill. Giggity. But, yeah.
Well, now that Oda and I are kind of deaf.
What? I'm sorry?
Dude, that was loud as shit on our end.
Really? I'm
oh
sorry.
my God. I'm surprised these cheap earbuds didn't die.
I'm surprised that it didn't come through on stream.
I didn't hear it on my end.
The only thing I can think of is because you're not using that mic for your stream. You're using that mic just to talk to us.
Yes. Because the stream mic is my snowball. My balls are my mic.
And I'm over here like, what just happened? A lot.
Excuse my wife. No, she was looking at me because I'm like, oh my God, that noise. And she's like, there's no noise. I'm like, thankfully for you.
Yeah.
Vox came out of nowhere and decided to say, fuck your media. It's mine, bitches.
But, shit.
No, that sounded like Alistair A-raping Vox.
Yeah.
And what comes out of Vox when that happens?
Or it could be what Alistair's radio station sounded like in hell. The one where all you could hear was the scream of their souls being torn apart for 24 hours.
You mean his wonderful radio show?
Not the one that he had in when he was a human, but the one that he had in hell.
Oh. Because he was a serial killer as a
Yeah.
human.
Yes,
Yeah,
but he also had a radio station.
That's true. He used that radio station to hide his killings.
Yes.
I'm just going to say, I can't get into that show.
It doesn't seem like
I
your sense of
tried.
humor.
It's not the sense of humor, it's the basic premise and subject matter of the show drastically conflicts with my religious beliefs. And I know for a fact it's literally somebody popping a shot at it.
Eh.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad show, I'm just saying it's not for me.
I mean, the whole premise of the show is actually redemption.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but I also got a bad taste in my mouth because of the one music video that was out about that had the spider guy.
Poison.
I think it was called.
Yeah,
And
where
the images and stuff in that was just like beyond creeping me out.
where Angel is literally singing about how fucked up his life is and how much he wants to change it.
And how, he's talking about the abuse that he went through.
He is, that he goes through.
Yeah, no, it was watching the abuse that just cringed me out. There's just yeah.
No, I mean the actual premise of the show is all about trying to redeem people.
No.
But again, to each their own.
Yeah.
You definitely wouldn't like Hell of a Boss then.
No.
Hell of a Boss is nothing but blasphemy.
I mean, there's a good amount of shows.
Like I don't have a problem with. I actually liked Lucifer.
Well, it's because Lucifer, once again, was another show about redemption.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah, I don't know if it's the subject matter. I don't know if it's the fact that I think I'm watching literally everybody who got rejected from Disney made their own musical, so they do everything Disney won't.
No, so
They do it
One of
better.
the first songs is whether or not they can kill somebody.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Vivi,
the point.
Vivi, whatever. I can never remember her or how to pronounce her name. She's had this idea for the show since high school.
Yeah, Vivian has actually been
I-
making animations since high school on to college, and she's been putting stuff on YouTube since 2012.
Oh no, I know, and trust me, the songs are good. I mean, it's just not my cup of tea.
Now, the only thing that I have a problem with the show, and this isn't something that I know for a fact, is just something that I've picked up from other people.
Mhm.
When it was originally on YouTube, it had a completely different voice acting cast.
Yes,
As soon as it got picked up by Amazon and they redid it, she dropped everybody and got A-list actors to do it.
that is actually somewhat true, but it's also from the pressure of the studio, because they didn't want to hire on voice actors that were not A-list or not vetted. And because of that, they didn't want to pay into the cost of getting them vetted into things like the Voice Actors Guild and such.
Alan's freezing for me.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, I was like, wait a minute. I thought my internet was lagging, and all of a sudden, Chef's moving normally, and Alan's like, literally sounds like a skipping CD.
oh, there we go. My internet's back. Are we good?
Yeah, you're good now.
See,
Yeah. So yeah, when it came down to it, that was actually partly her, but also partly pressure from the studio. Because the studio essentially didn't want to pay for the cost of paying for those particular voice actors that were part of that to be part of the Screen Actors Guild, because not all of them were vetted. That would have been on Vivian's part to pay for, and she didn't want to do that because she didn't have the funds to do it.
I don't know. I just can't believe that Amazon picked up Hazbin Hotel, but they still haven't picked up Hell of a Boss.
I don't know why. That's a little bit weird, isn't it?
I don't either. It's the same fucking universe, just different rings of hell.
And there's nothing different in the premises either.
Not really.
It might have been the fact they were busy with Fallout. Like, I'm actually surprised that all of the Fallout fans are happy about Fallout, considering how jaded, screwed over, and angry so many Bethesda fans are, and so many of them like that TV show.
You know, the funny part is Todd Howard says that any other Bethesda game adaptations to movies or TV shows probably will never happen.
Good.
We don't need a Elder Scrolls movie. We don't.
Well, there's other Bethesda games.
We don't need a Starfield movie.
The thing is that both in terms of budget and realism, Fallout is probably the easiest one to do.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I'm still on episode 2, so.
Well, I mean, just in scenery-wise, the majority of all of it can be filmed in the fucking Death Valley.
Also, you don't need CGI for you can use real guns, not magic wands and all that CGI stuff.
Well,
It'd be all CGI.
The cool thing about the power armor is, aside from the scenes where it opens and closes, it's all practical effects. So it's an actual suit that they're wearing and walking around in.
And Scotty, don't you dare apologize. You got nothing to apologize for.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a no apology zone. So
this is also this is a no apologies. But that is one of the things I love about the Fallout series. It brings back one of the aspects of cinema that I really enjoy, which is the fusion of real-time props and CGI in a minimal way where it accents. We were.
And we were both like, we want something like this, and then this comes out, and it's like, oh.
Like,
and the thing is, like, Mr. Handy, you couldn't tell that was a CGI. Like, they put the care to make it so that you couldn't. It was just as gritty. The only shiny one they showed was in the pre-war on the first episode.
Yeah, you're right. That's the only time they can show shiny, right? Because it was before shit went down. I do love.
But I will say,
yeah.
as somebody who works in electronics, the fact that those robots are still functioning at all is a miracle.
Yeah. The other thing that I really do love is the small Easter eggs, which this isn't a spoiler because we're trying to avoid spoilers for Chef and Scotty. But I do love the little Easter eggs when they talk about the power armor. I'm not gonna say what exactly, but the Easter eggs when they talk about it are fucking awesome because there are small little things that you wouldn't know about unless, of course, you actually found those little notes in the Brotherhood of Steel areas.
Was that past episode 2, or is that when they're trying to get everything ready in episode 2?
It's past episode 2. I think it's actually revealed either in episode 3 or 4 where they talk about that little Easter egg that I'm bringing up.
Okay.
I will say this.
I will say though,
look for Walter Goggins when for that particular part.
Well, we've seen the fight between him and the power armor.
That's not the part I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's a really small little bit that it is, but it's just a small little Easter egg for me.
Okay. I mean, Walter Goggins' character so far is my favorite. First off, I love him as an actor. I'm
assuming that's the guy who's the Cooper.
The Ghoul. Yep.
Cooper.
Yeah.
I only know him as the Ghoul right now.
Well, they used his name in the first episode.
Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yes.
When they were giving him shit.
It's like, why is Coop doing birthday parties? Alimony.
But I will say I love the aesthetic, like, of the 50s aesthetic in Fallout.
Oh, yeah.
And with the language they use is perfect. Okie dokie and all those little shit things.
If I could go back to any like aesthetic in U.S. history, it would be the 1950s style.
Okay, it's like so the soda hop era.
Yeah.
I actually do like
I would love
aesthetics of that era.
I would love to decorate a house like that. All aside from like a game room, obviously. Because I'm not fucking using one of those monitors for a fucking one of those TVs for a monitor.
You do realize they actually have cases that you put a regular monitor into, and then you 3D print something that goes around it?
That requires a 3D printer or money to buy that shit.
Oh, no, dude, everything you're talking about is money to buy that shit.
I know, but I'm saying
a dream home.
Yeah, if I had a dream home.
Money.
If I had a dream home, I would get the authentic shit, not some 3D printed shit.
No, I'm saying that I've actually seen it where they modify it so it looks authentic, but it's using a regular monitor.
Yeah.
So that way you can still use a regular monitor, because CRTs don't work the way they do in Fallout. TVs don't work that way.
Of course they do. Come on, it's in TV.
No. It's called mid-century modern. So that's what the design style is called. I didn't know. I mean, personally though, the 1950s was one of my favorite eras. I mean, like that's where they go back to and Back to the Future and all that kind of stuff. That's the Chuck Berry era.
I want in all honesty, I want the Fallout era. I want that aesthetic with robots.
You know what I really want?
I want a robot to do my gardening.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You want a Codsworth?
But you know what I really want? And they're all over Fallout. I want to... No, well, yes, but... No, we're talking aesthetic-wise. I want a COE truck. Cab over engine.
Okay.
I want that red car.
The one in the first episode?
Yep. Or it's also they have the same model as the Red Rocket in Fallout 4.
You do realize that car is an actual car, and they've only ever made 2 of them in production. That's the Lincoln Futura.
That doesn't. Yeah, there's only 2 of them ever made. That was never. Yeah, that's a movie.
Well, technically, there was one made, and it was made for one of the giant, like, future shows back in the 50s. Like, this is what the cars of the future will look like.
But it was
And like I
only
said, I'm
made
pretty
for
sure,
show, right?
If I remember right, yes. And then it was sold overseas, and then it came back, and then it was lost for years, and then it was found in Canada, and then it was brought back to the US through auction. And there was one dude, there's actually a show on Netflix called Car Masters, and a homeboy actually got a body made from the actual mold that they used to make that car. So it was the only other, there's only been like 4 molds made of that car, and he straight up rebuilt that car to 100% spec, and it is now sitting in the one of the big museums in LA. So there have only been 2 functional
talking, I'll be right
versions
back.
of that car made.
Yeah. Thing is though, I just like a car like that. That'd be cool. I could do without the nuclear waste product though.
So again, I've only seen up to episode 2. The beginning of episode 1, when the bomb hits, and Cooper's little girl turns around to do the thumb thing. She's doing this, and then he turns around, and you just see the mushroom cloud. It's like that doesn't apply in this situation.
I'm back. Oh yeah, how big is it compared to your thumb or mine? It's like, no, just fucking run.
That doesn't apply in that situation. If you are within a couple miles of it, you're fucked.
Yep, you are going to die.
Yeah. But I'm more talking about the video game, Chef, not the show, in order to try to avoid spoilers for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually going off the imagery they showed during Fallout 4's intro.
Forgot about that intro.
I'm trying to remember.
It's in 2077.
Yeah.
They showed Cogsworth at full beauty. They showed.
Oh, you're talking about the intro
like,
part of the
really
game, where you
yeah,
where you
yeah,
talk
before
to
you get into
yeah.
the vault.
Yeah.
Like their black, really nice, sleek car with like the Batmobile bubble things going on.
Yeah.
From like the 50s Batmobile. I want a car like that. I would love to have a car like that.
You want the Batmobile?
The same dude.
I want the black car from Fallout.
The same dude that made the replica Futura that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Also made one of those replica cars from the same era, the 50s, is another one of those one-off ones where they only had it for the World Gala or whatever, and it was the one that had the 2 bubbles that that actually was the car that they used for the original Batmobile. He made a replica one of those too.
What is it? The isolated cabs that they had?
Yes. He actually made it with the hydraulics, so it lifted up and slid back, so that way you could get in it.
And
the 50s was just random.
And you're not wrong. The 50s was an era of eclectic exploration that was one awesome, but also kind of weird.
Feasible.
Like, a lot of the things that they brought to us were not exactly good. The design choices were not there. It was just, this looks good.
You mean basically the basic premise of Fallout?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the funny thing, so that car that they ended up using for the Batmobile, the original car that they showed off at the showcase was so airtight that in order to hear the traffic sound around you, it actually had a microphone mounted on the trunk between the 2 bubbles. that would actually play all the traffic sounds into the cab so you could hear if there was a cop coming, if there was traffic, etc., etc.
Ah,
It's
and
like that is just not that is not a feasible design.
and you are right, Okana.
also-
Car makers were trying to outdo each other a lot during that time. There was definitely a lot of period, especially because that was when the Shelby Mustang versus the Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Yeah, that was big. That was one of the biggest competitions back then.
I'm just gonna say this: an airtight cab sounds like a really good way of committing suicide.
Well, I mean, it had vents and shit like that.
Yeah, it
It
wasn't
was so
airtight.
and sound. It was so airtight and soundproof that you couldn't hear the traffic sounds.
That sounds like a really good place to go when I don't want to hear anybody. Just go in and shut the door and lock it.
They have those. They're called isolation chambers.
Sensory deprivation. It's a great way to hallucinate.
Yeah, especially when you're just floating. I'm floating.
Sensory deprivation chambers. This century's version of peyote vision quests.
Only they
Or
cost a
last
shit ton of
century's
money to go
version.
to.
Yeah.
And
Last
also used by some people as a form of torture.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. That is very, very true.
Knowing you can leave is the difference between pleasure and torture with that scenario.
Some people have been so freaked out in sensory deprivation chambers that you can actually hear your own heartbeat and you can hear the blood rushing through your veins and shit.
I mean, that is kind of a unnerving feeling when you've never felt it before.
Yeah.
Sensory deprivation is
I've
also
got-
used
I've got-
in the paranormal world. Oh.
I've got high blood pressure. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Same
can hear
here.
your blood pumping in your fucking ears all the time.
Not all the time. Only when I get angry. Or stressed out.
Yeah. Nothing beats listening to your own heartbeat while you're having an asthma attack.
Yeah, it's not fun. Or, when you're in the middle of doing something and all of a sudden everything just kind of shines. I know what that feeling is, and I'm sure there are somebody in the chat that knows what that feeling's like. It's not a fun feeling.
Or winded.
Giggity. Now, in terms of games that give us different time periods, because there's obviously Fallout that gives us 1950s, right? And then
Well, 1950s future.
it's based in the 1950s aesthetic. So we got the 1950s aesthetic that is shown in Fallout. How do you guys feel about, if you have played it, obviously? I know Chef has. But how do you feel about the 1970s to 80s period, or 1970s to 60s period noir that is shown off in BioShock?
I fucking love BioShock. I need to finish those games. I really do.
You also need to remind you, if you can, let me know if they are stream safe.
Like I said, so I saw somebody streaming it the other day. But the whole thing with BioShock is if you have the originals, you should be able to stream them unless they've changed it.
Okay.
In which case, all versions should work. The remasters, they actually didn't include stream capabilities.
So
Stream support. That's
right.
what it is.
So it just shows up as a black screen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it was for the longest time. I don't know if they ever changed that because they got a lot of backlash from that.
Yeah.
I will say that BioShock and Fallout have a very similar theme when it comes to corporate greed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean, you're
yeah.
also talking to somebody who wants to. You're talking to somebody who wants to do a Splicer cosplay.
Which kind of
The only
splicer? Though?
cosplay,
Huh?
Which kind of splicer?
Probably just one of the bunny ones.
Okay.
One of the normal
I know what I'd like to do as a cosplay. I know I could probably do it even though I'm an overweight dude. But I will say it. I would have to include an air conditioning unit to survive doing it.
A Big
I
Daddy?
want to do a Big Daddy too.
Yeah.
I want to do a Big Daddy, but I am not making that armor. Making my Mando armor has taken 3 years, in 2 different versions, in 2 different types of material.
Yeah,
I am not gonna try to make a fucking Big Daddy.
I've seen tutorials on how to make Big Daddy armor, like both the original version and the one that's in BioShock 2.
Well, there's multiple Big Daddies in BioShock 1.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about the iconic one though. You know, the one with the big bulbous head.
The diving suit with the fucking auger on his hand.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the one that is the more kind of dome, or not dome, but cone shaped head almost.
Yeah, the one that throws the bombs at you.
Yeah. So those two, like those were pretty much the model designs. But it took this tutorial essentially says this takes on average 6 months if you have nothing else to do in your life.
Yeah, and making it out of EVA foam is the easiest way to do it. But then you still have to coat it and seal the foam and all that fun shit. And yeah, I don't know if you've tried to make a dome out of something that's fucking flat. It's not exactly easy.
No. Multiple Big Daddies, that's what she said. Oh my.
I want to see Oda dressed up as a little sister.
Oh my god. I have to show. Oh my god, I have to explain that to her.
Oh, I just imagined it, and imagination sometimes is a terrible thing.
Fucking Scotty just beat a fucking boss that she's been trying to beat for.
I just beat
2
Incomplete
weeks.
Faustus in Epic 7. Nice.
He's literally impossible to beat.
I'm sure. I'm having some trouble right now trying to get past some of the labyrinth shit. Excuse me.
Yeah, I kind of play that game.
I touch it every once in a while. My mobile game.
That's what she said.
My mobile game that Scotty got me hooked on was AFK Journey. And I've got it on my PC.
Nice.
So like, when I go live tonight, it's between Apex, AFK Journey, or fucking BioShock now.
So you are going live?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, good.
One, honey, we're married. We share everything. 2, you don't live with somebody as long as we have without picking up each other's mannerisms.
It's part of being in a relationship. You start to mirror each other. We share everything. Do you share toothbrushes?
No.
Good.
But I was gonna make a joke about how I don't look quite good in her blouse though.
You could pull off a blouse if you tried hard enough.
And by the way, if anybody needs any context, it's called I grabbed out of the wrong bin, put it on us. Why does this feel weird? Turned on the light and went, this is not my shirt.
I've done that between me and my wife as well. Let's see, Hal Chef aren't even living together and he's picked up a lot of my... Yeah, I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has.
Honey, I can't help but mirror you. I love you.
I will say in Epic 7, right now, my only issue is the fact that, one, I can't seem to get my hands on Albedo's fucking artifact, nor can I seem to get my hands on fucking Shaltir. So, I'm a little annoyed.
You're gonna get mad at me.
You got both.
My first 10 draws, I got the weapon. My first 30 draws, I got Albedo.
Fuck. See, I have Albedo, I just don't have Albedo's artifact. And I have Shaltir's artifact, I just don't have Shaltir. Which pisses me off. Because, one, both of those characters are really cool in my opinion. Shaltir, out of all of them, is fucking terrifying.
Shaltir is literally like the biggest case of, huh? She goes from this sniveling, crying little girl who just wants her bone daddy's affection, all of it, to I'm going to drink all of your blood.
Yeah,
So-
no, Shaltir is essentially the female embodiment of Alucard. That's what she's supposed to be. Because she's a true vampire.
So, I keep having to remind myself that Albedo is the person who I keep calling Alfredo.
You son of a bitch.
Just because you want to eat that?
Well, she is wearing a white dress, so Alfredo and a white dress. I mean, it kind of goes together.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. White sauce. You son of a bitch.
I want to do a cosplay of Ainz, but
You know how...
instead of having the rib cage and exposed bones, I want it to be a ketchup bottle and have the Heinz logo, so it can be Lord Heinz.
You told me
Actually,
about this.
I actually thought of a way of doing him as a cosplay. Just have the bones over something black.
Yeah,
So,
so
that'd be flipping huge. Have a helmet and then have like those, those you put remote control hands where you have your
Mhm.
fingers and little strings, and have the hands coming out of it. So it's basically, it's gonna be one of those things where you need feet extensions and you're gonna be dressed up kind of like how you do the Fallout series stuff, which matches considering how big he is.
there's a cosplayer here in Jacksonville that goes to the cons. He doesn't put it on very often, but one of his backdrops at his booth is he made a Ainz cosplay, and it's basically shoulder pads and shit. But when he puts it on, he's looking out through the rib cage. So it's like the black sheer shit, and he's looking out through the rib cage, and then he's got the extensions for the arms and shit like that.
Nice. I remember
Nice.
the anime expo that I went to, one of the last anime expos I went to before I left California. There was it was Ainz, obviously, but it wasn't Ainz as him in his skull. It was him in his black armor, and it was full size. Like the dude was in stilts and everything, but it looked so badass.
God, that probably took a year to make.
Oh yeah, no, I
That
think
armor had to be so hard.
I think he told me because I had to take his picture. I had to ask him about it, and I think it took him it took him 2 years to finish it to the point where he could take it to the con.
I want to do a set of I want to use EVA foam for this one because I was gonna use Sintra, but I was just like, fuck that, that'll be heavy as shit. I want to do a set of dwarven armor from Lord of the Rings.
Ooh, who's dwarven armor though?
Just the basic dwarven armor, like from like that you see on the dead bodies in Moria, or what the
boar riders were wearing.
Yeah, basically the full set, fucking essentially kind of what Gimli wears.
Yeah, okay.
I have one cosplay I've always wanted to do, but it just seems so daunting to do it. I want to do a black mage from Final Fantasy. Like wearing a black ball on my head, a hat, 2 light up yellow eyes, blue cloak, rod, the whole 9 yards.
So you essentially want to do
bad.
Vivi.
No, Final Fantasy like 4 or Final Fantasy 3 Black Mage.
Yeah, that Vivi was literally modeled after the Black Mage.
I know, but no, more like the design. No, but not the same clothing. Actually, it's more simplistic for the older ones because Vivi's costume's so intricate, and also Vivi's like 3 feet tall.
Oh, dude, that would actually be easy.
I'd
Yeah.
rather do the black mages the black mages from the village, because I could hide the fact I'm fat. Because they're fat.
Yeah, dude, this would be easy. Believe it or not, the hardest part would be the fucking hat.
Oh, also, I want the eyes to light up.
That's easy.
That's easy.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I'd like to do it. I don't have the time.
Shit, you could just go, or like for the head, you could literally just go and get one of the plastic dome light things at like Lowe's, and you can fucking put that or use the tinning spray paint on it to make it black. And
I love how you think this is so easy, and you're like speaking so far over my head that NASA just called.
I mean, if you really want to make it simple, you could just go get one of those Chinese lanterns, take off the top, because the opening on the bottom is big enough for your head, spray paint it black, and then put 2 LED lights there.
you wouldn't want to spray paint it because you wouldn't be able to see out of it.
Well, it wasn't thinking.
You could either use black window tint or the window tint spray.
Well, I was thinking more like you just spray it and then you poke holes and you just put black screening there so that you can see through it.
Oda.exe just suffered a brain aneurysm. I just got info dumped so hard. I just thought that up as a small comment, expecting you guys to tell me what you want to do. Not, oh, that's easy to do. Oh,
I mean, it would be easy. I could help you do it.
Yeah.
The hat would literally just be the hardest part.
I mean, all you would need to do is make wire framing for it to have support.
Oh, my smartass was actually just gonna go source some local straw.
But I'm looking at the pictures. They're not straw hats.
Creative liberty. Unfortunately, the one place. Also, the other problem is that it's like, okay, I build this. What's the payoff? I have nowhere to go. There's like one event around here.
You can use
I
it for
don't
content.
know anybody in them. No, I can't.
Says who?
I don't want to build. I do not want to sit down and try to stream in that type of outfit. I think I died of a heat stroke.
Who said you stream? I said content. You could do short videos with it in it. Just showing it off. You know how many people make like million view videos of just them walking around? Look at me. I'm in a costume. That's it. They don't even talk.
I guess like that doesn't seem appealing to me.
Just an idea. Like if you want a reason to use it.
There's also the slight fact that I have an 1,100 square foot house, and where the hell would I keep it?
Storage.
Yes.
No.
Let's put it this way. If you want to do it bad enough, there's you ready to tear your Mando?
Yeah, I'm tearing it apart soon so I can repaint it. Because the gloss black is not working. The gloss didn't set even though it was drying for 4 days. So when I put the tape over it to put the white on it, it fucking patchworked the shit out of it.
Ooh. So you gotta sand it down and repaint it again.
I'm sticking with the flat white, but I'm going with satin black.
And you're going
So
for a
that way
clean
it's
kit,
not-
right?
No, not anymore.
Not
Fuck
anymore?
that.
Okay.
I wore it to one MegaCon and fucking shit got scratched up. Hell no. I'm gonna get with everybody and help and weather it the way it should look, and then so it's a little bit dirty and shit like that, and then eventually So the cool thing with the Mandos is once you build your kit and get approved, then they unlock this whole new section called the Brigades. And the Brigades are specialty armor. So like the two brigades that I want to go for in my armor is light melee, which all I have to do is put a bicep plate on and a hand plate on my shit.
Easy enough.
And that's enough armor to turn my shit into it's enough armor to turn my shit into light melee. The second one that I want to do is I want to do a force hunter, which means I need trophies of Jedi that I've hunted down. So like lightsaber handles that don't activate and all that shit, kyber crystals, and one of the things is you have to put lightsaber burns on your armor.
Okay.
Cool. Quick, honey, get your Civil War dress. Wonder if I ever stopped you from getting anything you want.
She wants equivalency, and she's trying to give you a in to do what you want.
Let me put you this way. If I do this, I'm kidnapping somebody from Florida.
Why?
Well, one,
For
I'm
fun.
not that far from somebody else we know. So you can share. So, and two, you can help me build the damn thing.
It'd be a fun
Because
project.
I literally have no idea what I'm doing, and doing it by myself. I have this really big thing with wasting stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So the idea of making this and ruining it scares the crap out of me because I'm not used to having money.
I mean, luckily, all of those pieces that I'm talking about are cheap.
Oh, I actually want to go get I want to make the problem is that my level of detail, once I start getting into it, I'm an engineer. Like, I want to make a really, really fun rod that actually sounds like one of those old light-up toys.
Which
Where
one?
it goes like,
I mean,
where it lights up and it sounds like fire. Lights up, it actually has a sound effect for the ice attack. Lights up, it sounds like it has lightning striking.
I mean, that
You
would
can get
all
a
be on
board
you.
for
I
that.
can't do wiring and shit.
there's a
I know
simple
I can. I
soundboard
know-
that you can
I
get
know
that
it's-
they actually sell that has most of those pre-programmed. All you need to do is
Oh, yeah?
attach the buttons to activate them.
I know.
And all you gotta do is put that into PVC piping, and bam, you got your rod. Use some Warbler to shape it and add in some design.
I was actually probably thinking about going and getting something to put on PVC that looks kind of like a lamppost type deal, and trimming it down and putting a fey jewel in the top of it, so it looks like a wand. Make it clear. Put different colored LEDs in it so it can shift colors.
Definitely doable.
And then I was gonna get the other idea I had for this was to have the blue and red Gatorades or blue and red Kool-Aid, putting them into small glass jars and having mana potions and healing potions.
Yeah, and you could also put the edible glitter in there too, so that way when you shake it, it swirls.
Just don't use mica powder.
I was
No.
just gonna have the basic potion because that's what it looks like in the game.
It's true. They don't really swirl. They literally just look blue and red.
In the game, yes. I'm talking.
I'm talking video. I'm trying to emulate the video game, not weirdness.
You're a weirdness.
That's not weirdness. That's more real life. That's more real life. But yeah.
I
There's
don't
no
want
healing
real
potions
life. I
in
want
real life.
fantasy.
Fine. That's
The
more
only
live.
potion in real life comes in the form of chicken noodle soup.
That's more live action. How about that?
Your mom's more live action.
I'll live your action.
Dude,
Is
do you
this
promise?
real life?
I'm gonna
Is
have a really
this
big
just
stick and it
fantasy?
vibrates.
Oh my.
All right. Well, I'm gonna peace out for the last 5 minutes.
I
Fine.
gotta deal with Robo Alan.
Yeah, I got... Oh, no.
Yeah, your internet went funky right there.
Yeah. I don't know what it is either, because I, like, stopped all of the downloads, but we are kind of getting storming weather right now, so that might be it.
Well, I'm gonna peace out for the last 5 minutes and go get my shit started.
Hurry up.
I gotta take a piss and all that fun shit.
Hurry up.
Hurry up before his internet craps out.
Hurry up so we can raid you and I can actually properly support you.
Why?
Because I love you and I actually give a shit about supporting you, asshole.
Why?
Huh?
Because that's what friends do, dillweed.
And if you ask me why, I will shove that why up your butt. And
Why?
yes, I am threatening you with a good time, sailor.
Alright, I will see y'all in a bit. We're gonna be playing some Apex.
Alright. Switching to the two-man version while we wait for, you know, the scrub to get good and get his ass online while he goes and pisses. Speaking of content, what are you going to be doing soon? Because I know you've been working on the Final Fantasy series. You're on 4 or 5 now?
4.
4.
And actually, Saturday, I'm not going to be streaming because me and Laura are going to go do an all-day thing together for cross-stitching and have a good time.
Y'all are so fucking cute.
Yeah, and then Sunday, I'm going to try. Depends on how exhausted I am. Because work has been kicking my butt.
And I'm guessing that has to do with your previous employer.
No, that's not. No, it's actually 2 of our primary standards went out. 1 scheduled, 1 unscheduled. And now they've come back, and we have a backlog.
Oh, God, that sucks. And yes, Okana, y'all are just fucking adorable. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean that in y'all are fucking adorable. This is why I love watching your guys' Slavic Farm podcasts. Because it's just, you know, adorable watching y'all together.
I do find it funny how many people say that. Also, it's Slovak.
Slovak, sorry. I am bad with pronunciations. You know this.
I know this. That's why I'm helping you.
And people say that because
also,
it's
my
true.
wife almost knocked herself out.
But yeah, people say that because it's true. Because it is adorable watching y'all two together talking about stitch work.
Now, what's really funny is I've had a couple of people like, how do I get my husband to do it? He has to come up and ask you. You can't make him. But I asked her. She didn't say anything stupid. She didn't say anything condescending. She said, okay, let's pick you something out. That's what you have to do.
If they're interested, invite them.
And don't be judgmental about it.
Right? Because we all start somewhere. Shit. I bet you anything if I jumped into needlework, I'd be terrible at it.
Oh, I was actually more talking like, especially considering when I started, it was a lot less common for men to do it. Like the first event we went to, I was one of 3 men out of 250 people.
Ah.
It's really easy to learn when you have a beautiful wife teaching you.
Yes, that helps a lot. Alrighty then, everybody. Chef is live, and we're going to be rating Chef. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out for today's livecast podcast of A Bunch of Goofs with me, Oda, and Chef. We really do appreciate y'all, and we hope to see you again soon. And as you've heard, Sunday, Oda might be streaming. Hopefully he is. Please do check him out on Twitch, as well as it's going to be a Twitch to YouTube.
Twitch and during the afternoon.
Yes, Twitch during the afternoon. Either way, thank you all so much. Let's show Chef some love, and I will see you all later. Bye. Well, everybody, that's the end of today's episode of Bunch of Goofs. I hope you enjoyed, and of course, let's say thank you to our cast, Asian Fasha Gamer, Audacia, and Hey, I'm Chef. Thank you so much, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.